So welcome back to RiverBank. This is our third part entitled Recollections. Last session, which is actually a continuation, this is just a continuation of that. But that last session, what had happened was um, the cousin, older cousin of Montgomery Abernathy, played by John, arrived on the same train that collected the cakes to be taken to the contest from the first part of our story. He has been staying with his cousin for a while around these parts. He spent a lot of his formative years and adult years in RiverBank along with his cousin. And he has kind of just been reminiscing, continuing to write his memoirs, trying to remember everything that happened therein that he's trying to write about, seeking Montgomery's help in that, sometimes getting assistance and sometimes not, as he is a bit annoying with his questions. But, yeah, it also fell to Montgomery that folks were expecting a party to be had in his cousin's honor due to the fact that his birthday is this coming Friday. And they have been preparing as best they can to arrange for that party, which it is widely believed will be a surprise party for Vincent, regardless of whether someone says it right to his face that there's a surprise party happening. Vincent's a bit forgetful. But yeah, the group has assembled some things. I'll let them take some time to kind of reminisce about what they have been collecting, and we'll, based on their, poor memory or poor note-taking, we'll be able to make fun of them together, collectively as an audience and storyteller, because they have less of an attention span and memory recollection than Vincent.
Wow.
So don't do that.
Only on days that end in Y, okay?
Alright, giving it to you. Feel free to discuss amongst yourselves what's going on.
We found out that the waters lied.
We think.
No, we know.
We do know. We do. It is a fact. It's in the newspaper.
Look.
He had a fabricated newspaper ad.
I gotta stand up for him,
I get it.
His name has an R, so it'd be criminal if I didn't.
Did you sign a pact with a demon, or?
Let's just say I supply one honey bun and I get all access to our names, okay?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've secured games.
Mm-hmm.
We've secured a cake.
Oh, you were securing the cake when we ended.
Yeah, I was on my way to the village to get the cake when we ended.
It is presumptive of you to say that you have secured it, though. That hasn't happened yet.
We have a strong plan to secure a cake. Sorry, my language was not concise and exact. I will shame myself after the session.
It may not be true. It may not be true.
He's like, I might send a gang of thugs to beat you up. You don't know it yet.
We have a tent. We have the spot for the party.
And then the humans arrived.
Well, we were making the tent, right?
Yeah, making the tent.
Yep.
Yeah, it isn't made yet.
Yeah. Is the plan of one party with a bicycle to ride to the human town to acquire a confection of cake proportions. And then it was the plan of the worker types, which I believe is primary Montgomery, but other people might have been associated with that team, to work on the tent.
I'm pretty sure it was, I think I was going to go get my grandfather, and the other two were working on the tent.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I say that The confection situation, that goes off without a hitch. Despite my musings prior, it does cost you a bit of cash, but again, you're pretty well to do. And it's not that much of an issue for you. It seats nicely in the bike basket, and you're able to get that to wherever you're planning to take it destination-wise. Where do you want to take it destination-wise?
Probably back to the hall to keep it safe until the actual event.
Okay.
I'll take it back to Collywobble Hall.
Cool. Then, regarding the tent, Montgomery's proven himself as a handyman time and time again, and with an assistant in the form of Whitley, it's not too hard for you to kind of reach those higher places and get the tent to a structure that you are not only able to kind of be proud about in its size of, just over 4 feet high. It's also easy to break down and put back together, but you feel like it's sturdy when it's, assembled. So it should be perfect and good. Anything of note that you want to kind of designate about the tent? Any additions, color options, what have you, that you want to kind of make sure you accentuate now, or is it just kind of like a white veranda kind of style tent?
You don't make the tent cool at all?
John?
Maybe a banner that says Roscoe Waters is a fraud.
Well, do we want to make the party about that, or do we want to make the party about Vincent?
No. We're not.
It's up to you. I mean, we can definitely make it go.
No, I'm not doing
Huh.
that.
All right. Last but certainly not least, it takes you a little while to get out to your papa. But you do arrive. What does the house look like? How do you envision his home looking like?
It's probably like a nice 2-story cottage, I would imagine. But the biggest part of it would be like the deck out back where the boat is definitely like, you could tell it's been taken more care of than the house. Like the house is like, could use a good washing, maybe a good layer of paint. The deck is pristine, perfectly varnished, it's got everything.
So it's
the boat is also pristine.
I'd say it's a blustery day, which we notated prior, like it rained pretty heavily this morning. Do you feel like he'd be out on the water regardless, or is he at his home?
He's probably out on the water, I would say.
Okay. So I'd say you probably can see that his boat isn't too far away. I feel like the vibe of late, and again, you may not have a reason why, but he doesn't sail out too far onto the lake. It's almost like he just stays, pretty close to shore, and just daydreams all day.
That sounds about right. Yeah, I can I swim out to his boat?
Yeah. You're an otter. I would like to think you could do so. And you kind of pull yourself on deck, and you hear a, back, I say, back. Oh.
It's me, Pebble.
Reed.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
I came to invite you to Montgomery's cousin's birthday party.
Montgomery.
Abernathy?
Oh, you mean Vincent?
Yes.
Oh.
He would very much like it if you would come.
I haven't talked to him in a long time.
That's what he says.
And last I recall, we were in a bit of a spat regarding the truth of matters.
Yes, he actually doesn't recall that very well.
And he just kind of like starts fumbling around for a bottle. Not alcohol, because we're in a, cute moment, but like, something, nefarious for our world. So like soda pop.
All can be cute. Just look at Sherry. Have you ever seen those little cordial glasses? They're
Okay.
adorable.
Alcoholism on the other hand.
Unsweetened tea.
I don't think I can make cute, okay? We're going for soda pop addiction, okay? It's more adorable. It touches on themes, and kids won't understand what's happening.
Worse, they'll never understand when he draws up a line and fucking snorts a soda pop right off the table.
Yeah, yeah.
I took the sugar straight out of it, man.
That's exactly where.
Right, when he takes the soda, puts it on a spoon, holds a lighter underneath it to cook off the fucking liquid.
Yep.
Ties off the blood flow on his veins for his arm, and
He's a busy man, okay? He's a
Family
busy man.
friendly, baby.
black tar, Coca-Cola. I mean, not Coca-Cola. I said.
No, dude, you're doing that shit with Pepsi. You're
Don't-
not wasting the Coke on that. Come on.
They're literally the same thing.
No, I. Also, never mind. Tuesday Game has a long history with Coca-Cola. Very interesting.
That's true. That is true.
Coca-Cola
Have
with
you tried the
coffee.
new cherry float flavor?
No, that sounds good though. Sounds very good.
It's solid. It's solid.
He will be drinking. Oh, beep beep. Okay, bong. My computer just made noises for no reason. He will partake in a bit of a guilty pleasure of a drink. And he's basically ignoring you for the next few moments as he's searching for that, but kind of like, yeah. Like pretending like he's paying attention. Once he has his glass poured and he's kind of put the bottle away, he kind of looks at you and says, I don't know if I really want to see Vincent.
That is okay. I guess he was really excited to see you. It's kind of like all he talked about when he met me was how I look like you.
Yeah. Maybe 30 years ago, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to agree, boy. What? Was he mad at all, did you think, or?
No, not that I could tell. I think he's more or less just trying to figure out whatever the truth of the matter is, so that
So
he can write it down in his memoirs.
So he is concerned about that.
Honestly, I think Montgomery's more concerned about it than he is.
He always was a stick in the mud.
Indeed.
Hey now.
Not even there. Just pops out of a hole in the ground. You wanna fucking go? Honey Badger ain't afraid. Honey Badger don't care. He'll say, well, I won, but I told the newspaper that he had won. They pulled a retraction on the original story, and he didn't even remember the race the next few days. This was a long time ago, Reed. He's always been very disconnected, but I shouldn't have tried to be kind. And there's something about his measure here that's kind of, you're not sure what he's saying or what he's trying to say, or you are, and you're kind of forming your own decisions here. But it seems like he's kind of losing himself in himself, and like you're not sure how to help here. So I'm going to go ahead and have you roll a deed here. This is also for just the negotiating with him to go. But yeah, go ahead and roll me a deed.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh. So,
Guessing that's not a good one.
none of them other than intrepidity are good.
Do one
Actually,
thing.
that's not too bad. That's a 9.
Okay. It's not sufficient. You're going to need to burn a few to get to where we want, and by a few I mean 4. And I think that this would probably be the animalistic route, so you should be, I think, -5, right?
Yes, I would be at -5.
Let's see what that gets us. Hold on.
Yeah.
So for those who haven't familiarized yourself with the RiverBank rules, while I'm looking up this specific chart, basically all of our animal friends here can, to assist in deeds that they're performing, they can adjust themselves to kind of fit the environment by either becoming more animalistic or more poetic. If they utilize this feature too much, ultimately what will happen is they'll arrive at a situation where they're like overly kind of in their own head, imaginative, etc., and needing to kind of like find an outlet for that, or they'll become animalistic and kind of return to their more primal natures, doing whatever the animal that they are would do in that kind of situation. With a -5, you have a -1 to sense, and that's it. So any sense rolls that you make moving forward throughout will be at -1.
Okay.
All right. You argue with him. There's a lot of arguing that happens here. And ultimately, you understand that he was trying to pull a line at the very beginning. And he admits to you that he did, in fact, create a false newspaper because he had friends at the paper who could do it. And he also lied to the record keeping officials that were in from the capital to make him seem important. And he often will insist that he asked Vincent for permission to do this because he was very interested in sailing, whereas Vincent wasn't. And he does seem to kind of give this, like, you're not sure if it's truthful and you're not sure if it's, a lie, but based on everything else, you're pretty sure it's a lie. Just rationally, that makes the most sense. But it seems like he's saying that he asked Vincent for permission to do this, and Vincent said yes. Oh wow, my camera reset so you can see. My Brita water filter? My bottle? That's so weird. Why is it like that? There, fixed. Sort of. Okay, we're good. So, thoughts? Reed?
Reed is definitely gonna he's definitely gonna doubt a lot of the remorse or the permission he got, I guess would be the way to put it. He's definitely gonna doubt the that he got permission part. He does, be like, okay, yeah, so you did lie, but the permission part, he's gonna doubt it and be like, well, I mean, that's all the more reason to come, You can settle it up with him, and if he actually gave you permission, then there you go.
He looks at you kind of like astonished. I remember every time you'd come over, I'd read you stories about St. George and the dragon. Probably a bit of why you've run about as you do. It seems like the lessons of those stories really take to heart with you. I don't know when I made it so complicated. You're right. I'll go.
All right. I will tell him the date.
Yep. And he says he'll be at your place tomorrow.
But it's going to be a little bit away.
Well, he will be leaving. Oh, sorry, he'll be leaving to come to your house tomorrow. You're going to arrive back home at the end of the day. So if he leaves tomorrow, it means that he'll arrive like Wednesday, or he'll leave the day after tomorrow. So he'll arrive Wednesday night. He'll be at your house for Thursday, and then he'll be able to be ready for the party.
Okay.
And you're not going to fight him anyway because he's your relative. And
Yeah. Sure.
sure. I think that's it for Monday, unless you folks have anything else that you want to attend to.
Nothing from me.
Okay. With Tuesday's arrival, you'll see that the sun is out. Brilliantly so. It's kind of a situation where it's like a spring after the rain where everything is just kind of dewy and kind of like, I don't know, just radiant. Like, I don't know what it is for me. Spring is probably the prettiest of the seasons. And it just feels more vibrant and alive. And that's very much the case in RiverBank after the rains. You wake up early. You can start your process here. I went through people last time and the time before that. This time I'm just going to let it be whoever wants to start and go first.
Shelby will head towards Montgomery's home.
Okay. Montgomery, there's a knock at your door. Soon after, I assume, a bike bell
Oh,
sound.
what day is this again? I'm sorry.
Tuesday. Or
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, isn't it?
Tuesday. Tuesday. That's going to be the rest of the episode. Tuesday.
He would receive Shelby.
Is Vincent around?
Oh. Looks back and I assume, how early in the day is this? What do you think?
As early as
Oh,
you'd
this
like
would
it
be
to.
cracking on.
Cracking on. Yeah, he's old. He'd be up at like 5 a.m. So he's just sitting there writing his book on the.
Before we get his attention, and Shelby will like kind of wave you outside.
Yeah, and he'll slowly shut the door.
As requested, I've secured the cake and it's at home. You've finished the tent?
We did.
And what else is there to secure?
I think we just need to. I should probably gather some food from the garden so we can make some appetizers, all that. Past that.
Well, count me in! And
What?
Shelby starts rolling up his cufflink sleeves. Like he's gonna
Okay.
dig in the
Would
fucking dirt.
you want to come in for maybe a cuppa or a coffee
I'd
real
be
quick?
happy to have a second, sure.
All right, let's do that. I haven't had mine yet.
Nods acknowledgingly.
Willie, you obviously have the morning as well, just to kind of make sure we have everybody on pace if they end up at the same place.
I'd probably show up a bit later than the crack of dawn. I'd probably show up around noon, in all honesty. I would just go out, get on the bike, and drive up there. You'd definitely hear me rumbling through.
And Reed, you kind of had a long day of walking to and fro, but you got in, relatively early compared to what you were expecting, and were able to get a good night's sleep. What would you like to do in the morning?
The first thing Reed's doing is cleaning up his house for when his papa comes over, because that's the last thing he wants to hear is, his papa being like, Well, this house wasn't this dirty last time I was here. So he's gonna be cleaning up his house, and he's also going to be outside. He has like a little rock that's a hidden stash of fish. He's putting all his fish there.
Okay. I would say the fish in there at current are very similar to oh god, what's the name of that? Can fish challenge. Sushrumming. Sushrumming.
Oh God.
Yeah, you probably got like a nice sushrumming mixture in the under the rock spot. Are you familiar with sushrumming, Brent?
No, no.
Okay.
It's fermented shark.
It's fermented fish. It comes in a can.
It's god awful.
I'm gonna go ahead and post a picture for everybody's enjoyment. Copy image, paste. Those at home, you should just Google it. But yeah, it looks
Appetizing.
apparently when it's cracked open, the smell will like sink into the walls.
Yeah, that's because you can't smell a JPEG.
Right.
Got him.
Wait, what? Did I say something out of step?
I think he was making fun of Brent.
Oh, I thought I was the idiot. Okay, well, thanks, Brent. Teamwork. So good.
Anytime.
But yeah, it's probably like that inside of your under the rock.
Hey, otter senses of smell. It's great.
Their sense of smell is great, or because of their sense of smell, that smells great. Okay.
Their sense of smell is probably great. So if they're a normal otter, they might not like it, but Reed likes it.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. And then you heading on over after you get your.
Yeah, after the house is cleaned up and my fish are heading, I'll head over.
Okay.
To let him know the news.
So you've got the morning, it sounds like, to kind of like handle business, and then probably late morning you'll get a read, and about afternoon you'll get a Willie. Montgomery and Montgomery and Shelby, what would you like to do in the morning? Exactly.
Well, after the cuppa, we're getting stuff ready for collecting stuff from the farm or the garden. I should say it's not a farm, but
Yeah.
so we can make appetizers, finger foods, all that crap.
Awesome. So go ahead.
I was like, let me know if you need any fish.
So
Give me one fish test.
okay, I'm gonna go on a short little tangent here. This is gonna sound really stupid. I always imagine, since like this setting doesn't have like phones, right? Or like cell phones or anything. I always imagine when someone who's not in a location like pops in and says something, I always imagine it's like a cute little just like picture of them like in the bottom corner and like a text bubble like in some video games, like yeah. Like I always imagine that.
It's
So
an RTS.
yeah. It's like an RTS. You like focus on the building over here, and then this fucking otter's face pops in. Just let me know if you need fish. Sorry. Anyways, I just wanted to get that out into the world before I forgot it. So, I'd say by the time that you get a read, you're probably well into the having gathered everything that you feel you'll need and are starting to prepare those things. So based on the sounds of it, we're getting kind of like a charcuterie of like vegetables and like some fruit and stuff like that. What else?
Like insects, grub, that kind of stuff.
Some lettuce with peanut butter and like actual ants on it. Oh my god.
Ants on
That's on a log. That's what they call it. Cool. Any other back in my day. Any other things that you want to kind of notate as being especially interesting as like you're building up to it, or
Not for today.
Okay. I mean, just like in the foods and the party fare.
Maybe like tarts are pretty easy. Make some sort of get prepped a little tart to bake for the day of, or little tarts.
Okay. Like anything exorbitant though, like are you taking like a melon and carving it in a very kind of like elaborate like, thing, or are you kind of taking, like I said, a charcuterie and kind of like making like this very massive display of it, or like, is there anything in your mind that's like over the top crazy that you want to kind of highlight?
It's Tuesday and that's Friday.
Okay.
So this is more like just grabbing stuff to
Prep, getting ready, setting up the.
Yeah.
You'll do the actual prep on Thursday. Got it.
Right.
I see you. Any plans for that though? Just so we know what we need to expect for Thursday.
Maybe
Ooh, an edible arrangement as a table setting for everybody would be really fun.
Yeah.
I like it.
Charcuterie.
Charcuterie board. Oh man, I love charcuterie.
Right. So yeah, who doesn't?
Can't stop thinking about. Anyway. And then teas obviously will probably be on offer as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Any kind of other miscellaneous baked goods, be it bread or, cookies or lighter fare, shortbreads. I believe those are pretty Scottish. Anything like that you want to add to the docket?
Definitely, maybe something like that. I wouldn't.
And you started off so strong saying definitely.
And I kind of want to give you a reason. Obviously, me asking these questions about these minute details sounds like it's kind of like, oh, whatever. No, we're throwing a party, dude. It's fine, whatever. The main thing that I want you to note is like, if you kind of objectively put yourself into, I want to do this thing that's going to be like crazy or over the top, I'll have you perform a deed for it. But the more of these kind of noteworthy things that happen means the success of the party is more like possible. So keep in mind, this game takes what seems like we consider light fare, I'm baking a cake or I'm throwing a party, and turns it into the actual fight that you're doing in the game.
Right, yeah. Maybe some croquettes.
Hell yeah, I love croquettes too. I want to go
different
fancy.
types of yams. Well, actually,
Fish casserole.
Can you do that?
What's that?
We allow one fish dish, and that's it. You got to pick.
Reed, what's it gonna be?
Ooh.
The sous drumming.
I'm definitely. I'm pulling out the oldest fish in there to make fish casserole.
Okay.
Its ingredients are fish, a little bit of bread, fish, a little bit of salt, and fish.
Hopefully. How about we throw some onion in there? Maybe like a little bit.
You know, we'll try to make that better.
Oh.
We'll serve that somewhere else outside of the tent.
Oh, look, there's a party happening at your house, Reed. That's where we're serving the fish. You gotta go over there and get it if you want to.
Being served on Thursday as an early appetizer.
Next Thursday.
For you.
I'm sorry, Brent. I just picture your little otter as that weird gym guy who just has his like ground beef and rice that he takes to restaurants, and you just pull out that fish casserole you just described, and you're just eating it while everyone else has normal food around you.
Yes,
This has my macros. This meets my macros.
Yeah. How do you think I stay this fast underwater, man?
I need those omega-3s.
Look,
you don't understand.
If I don't eat the fish, I can't swim like the fish.
You gotta have the fish. You have to have the fish oil. That's what they do. They rub themselves with fish oil.
You eat.
That too. So I would say that like if there's any kind of, obviously the casserole is going to be a deed, and the deed isn't so much to see if it's impressive and tasty. It's going to be if it's an actual food that can be presented at a party. And I love that angle too, right? You're not
to break your little heart.
You're not rolling to succeed. You're rolling not to fail. Um, is there anything else that you guys want to kind of focus as a? I like the arrangements, the edible arrangements at each table setting.
And by edible arrangements, what I mean is like taking the fruit and cutting it up to look like flowers.
Yeah,
So
I got
that's
you.
like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And maybe some actual flowers. I mean, again, we are a bit different
Right,
than
like things like, dandelions and
roses,
stuff that are actually edible.
rose petals, or
Those have thorns, but
No,
rose
no, no,
petals
yeah.
has like, yeah.
like a.
All Willie wants is a guarantee for like one bit of blood sausage. That's it. Just a little.
I would say that it's possible, but again, thinking of the games, something that's not as common around here, and it would be incumbent upon Montgomery whether or not he has these in stock. But we talked about it last time. Some of us learned about it for the first time last time. But a Scottish game that is played is called Haggis Toss, and that's where you throw a haggis.
Yeah.
Well, I'll probably have to go into the human or the town for that.
Yeah, you're pretty sure they're not going to have haggis in England. Just as a heads up.
You never know.
The only way
They will have all of the pieces to make it, though.
Yeah, but as you
We're just
may
gonna find a sheep.
Oh, you gotta find a sheep. Oh god.
Here's the sheep. Godspeed.
Godspeed.
Here's a sheep and a knife and a frying pan. Good luck.
All four of us circle it.
The closest sheep person, like their ears start to them. They're like, oh no.
Circle it. I'm a newt.
I don't think sheep people's an option. And that, I think, I think that's a failing of the people who wrote this game, because, well, I guess they'd be massive compared to all of the other fun animals we are.
It's a size issue, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why there's four of us to take him down. So we're gonna build a D&D encounter.
So, okay, you're gonna fight a sheep. All right. Butcher it.
Just for the stomach.
If you would just let us have it.
I need this.
Stop fighting us for this.
If you go to the butcher, it is a good chance that you'd be able to get the parts required to make a haggis.
That's what I was assuming.
Okay. And how many of those do you want to try and get a hold of?
Ooh.
Gotta be at least two. Two's the minimum, right? Because we're throwing one.
Yeah, you need haggis plural, not haggis singular.
Is it Haggai?
Haggai. No, it's Gaelic, so it doesn't follow those rules. Yeah. Haggai. Like magi, but like I don't know.
Haggai.
Sheep stomachs.
You need Haggai plural. Okay, so how many of these are you going to go for?
I said like 6.
Okay. 6. So you go to the butcher, and they'll basically be in a situation where they are okay with supplying you with these items. 6 sheep stomachs, and the pluck. If you are able to pay, but the price I'd say is a bit exorbitant as well. And as far as coffers go, you're pretty much tapped with the cake, right? You're not going to be able to buy the whole. You're not going to be able to fund a whole party here.
Then maybe we'll just do 2 for the part for the sport.
Okay. For 2, they're a little less focused on it being a deed or a task. So then, yeah, go ahead and just notate that you have 2 parts for haggis.
2 parts for haggis.
And again, if you don't know what pluck is, that's the heart, liver, and lungs of a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were going to find a way to make this game dark, but haggis was a weird avenue.
Yeah, we got there.
I offered to like steal something or burn something down at the start to make it dark, but everybody was against it.
For those who are, it's just Dungeons and Dragons kind of weighs on people's
Well,
souls.
Well, weren't we also talking about milking the
The
otter?
otter.
Yeah, we did talk about milking the
That whole
we
first
did.
that whole first session was a bit of a roller coaster ride.
It was a wild one.
Yeah. Okay.
Look where we're at now.
Look where we've gone. So no attempt to try and get the other fourth. That's fine. You're able to walk out there with the minimum, and good deal. Trying to think, is there anything anybody else has that they want to engage in before Wednesdays or Tuesdays out?
I mean, I don't think I'd be running out to go get anything 3 days in advance at this point. So
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Is so like there doesn't have to be anything that you've got to go like you're going on. There's kind of two avenues, and I think we're all familiar with both of these like positions. Like when you're waiting for something to happen or you're preparing to do something, you're kind of very adamant about like over preparation or under preparation. And no matter which route you go, you're not really wrong in the decision that you've gone, and the path that you've taken. But you're obviously going to second guess yourself, and that's really, I think, the whole point of this bit of the process. So, does anybody have anything they want to do at all on Tuesday?
No.
No.
Same question for Wednesday.
No.
Okay,
I would go buy my blood sausage so I could make sure I have it.
got it. Do you-
Wednesday tending to tasks.
Okay. And on Wednesday, blood sausage time, do you get an extra one just so you can have one when you? I mean today.
Oh yeah, I get 3, so I can just have one for my house. I don't know how much I plan to eat at the event and how hungover I will be in the next morning. We've been to a tavern multiple times. They don't serve soda. I'm not gonna believe you.
That's what they serve there,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm getting 3 because I'm storing one in my own house.
Yeah, there's drinking. Okay, Roscoe's an alcoholic. That was the thing I was doing. I just, in hindsight,
No.
I in hindsight was like, this is a very common trope in like familial relationships, and by trope I mean an affliction that affects a lot of households. But yeah, I don't know. It just felt weird when I was doing it to Brent. I'm your drunk grandpa. I'm your drunk grandpa, Brent. I just felt weird. So yeah, I tried to couch it, and I shouldn't have. You're right. You're right, Chandler. I should have just gone for it.
Yeah, what the hell?
What the hell is wrong with me? Okay, so Wednesday, basically blood sausage acquisition. Anything else planned?
Not for me.
Day before the party, Thursday. This sounds like it's going to be the busy day. Surprisingly, just due to the position and where you kept the materials, there is no damage or anything to the stuff that you had. I was surprised someone didn't say, well, we could keep the food at the nose and tail, and then it'll be right there for the party. But you were smart. Kept it close to the chest.
No, Montgomery would have a cold cellar,
Mm-hmm.
like a root cellar for stuff like that.
Yeah, I think Shelby's house has a similar situation going. That's where the cake is
Plus-
located.
Cake, I mean, you keep it covered and, like,
Yeah.
out of the sun, it's fine. Yeah, it's a cool, dry, damp place. Not damp. Cool, dry, not damp.
I understand what you're trying to say.
Good, because my mouth doesn't.
My whole ass face. So Thursday.
Making a fish casserole.
Okay, so that's gonna require a deed roll, and
Brother,
I
I believe in you.
hate to put you to task this whole session, Brent.
It's
So
fine, it's fine. I'm gonna roll a 2 here. Yes, it's intrepidity. That's a 16.
damn. Okay, so I'm going to say that the situation, as I understand it, is you are at work in your own kitchen, just smashing away at this thing. And there's this kind of like adventurous spirit that goes into the matter. And it is basically as you described, but you, during the course of the kind of gathering of, root vegetables and stuff from Montgomery, you asked if you could borrow this or that. And, being kindly, he allowed you to. So you're throwing in onion, you're throwing in like a bunch of different stuff and really testing your spirit here, trying to kind of like make something that you'll enjoy, because you'd enjoy it if it was just raw and as is, but that you would enjoy and that others would enjoy as well. And you have the casserole, and it's casserole jar? What do casseroles go in? I don't know.
I think a casserole in a jar.
Casserole dish.
There you go.
I'm always trying to sound stupider than I am when it comes to cooking and sports. It's very important that people do not think that I like those things. Because if they think I like those things, I'll have to go to sports with them, or I'll have to cook with or for them. I don't want to do any of that. So, the dish is covered, and you take it to Montgomery's. You see him coming, and it's covered, Montgomery, when he comes in and asks to, put it, with the rest of everything else. There's no smell to it. Seems like he's covered it, and like the aromas are kind of like staying kind of away from. So there's no understanding what it is. Reed, since you're the only person who's tasted it, do you ask him to taste it to confirm yours? Yeah. Okay. So
I haven't tasted.
Montgomery, obviously you're there, and perhaps others are also present. Do you try it, or do you try and pawn it off on someone else?
I'll try it.
Okay. It is surprisingly good. Presentations,
okay. All right. Well,
fine. It's good.
All right. I guess this won't be at the second party. This will be at the main party. Good job there, Reed.
We're having a second party?
And he'll just glare.
Sure aren't. Okay.
He says not anymore.
Aw. Willie. Obviously similar circumstances to the day we tracked on Tuesday. I'm assuming you wake up not too early. Fair to say. Shelby. I assume you are waking up early. On the contrary, is there anything in the morning that you want to be doing before kind of checking with the others?
No, I don't think so. I think he's gonna go probably straight to Montgomery's to try and be there first to help.
So
whatever. I think there's a lot of fruit prep left.
I'd say you'd be there when Reed comes in with the casserole, and there's no smell to it. At first, when it is opened up, there is a scent to it, but it's one that actually catches you off guard as being pleasant. It smells like it was well made. And then Willie would eventually arrive as well. What are we building? What are we planning? What are we doing?
Well, I've got edible arrangements to make.
And that'll be a deed.
And it pays.
D4. Followed by a D6. So that's +7.
Yeah. So I would say that with that, it's going to be a 4-point adjustment, and I think it's going to be because of the timing matter. It's going to be more of an animalistic kind of like cutting through it. Like you're kind of like working harder to kind of press yourself. you're pushing through it. And I think that puts us at a -6 or 7.
7.
Yeah. Okay.
It's -4.
So for the rest of the session, you will have -1 sense and -1 charm. And you are 1 point away from absolute animality. Okay. So you're spending the whole day doing that. That is literally all you're doing. And it might be a situation where you actually get angry and like storm off with what you have back to your place with the ingredients so that you can work in quiet. It's up to you how you want to roleplay that. Just as they're going, just assume you're in the background cutting, and if you like think one of them is being loud, feel free to, snap at them.
Yeah, I got you. You know how I do.
Yep. And then Willie, what are you working on process for the food arrangements, games, etc.? Prep for tomorrow.
I would set up the games at the place. I would ride over and set up like the spots for the croquet and things of that nature.
Gotcha. Okay.
And other than that, maybe prep the blood sausage by just like slicing it into sections.
Mm-hmm. Plating it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Montgomery, last but not least, what are you planning lastly? Anything that you want to kind of have stand out?
Making up all the hand food and appetizers and all the other stuff.
Okay. And remember too, the party is like in the latter half of the day, so you could definitely do setup in the morning as well.
That actually might be better.
Yeah.
Forgot what time it was at because it was later.
Knowing that, do you want to rescind the setup process, Willie, or do you want to just go ahead and have it done?
I still want to have it done.
Okay.
If I'm a bit in the way, I'll be a bit annoying.
Fair. So yeah, Willie pops out, bike full of junk, and heads on over. And then Montgomery, you just kind of get everything plated and ready in the cold storage so that you can just kind of walk it over in its state, set it to table, which is presumably being set up right now. Sounds like a good process. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, they're relatively quiet. Colby, nothing to get, or Shelby. Huh. My brain just left. It's on vacay. Anything in the kind of final steps before we get to the party proper?
Nothing from me.
Okay. You rest. You are able to kind of basically get a little bit of sleep, but preparations are kind of concerning. You do have the articles that you left out overnight. And when you get there in the morning, hold on a second here. What all did you set up? Just the games? Or the tent?
That would have been the plan. Just the games.
Okay. So, when you get there in the morning, before the party, you notice that it looks like one of the lawn darts was utilized to kind of like lacerate. Trying to think what would be like a big laceratable thing for games that you'd have had set up.
They play cornhole over there? I don't know.
Basically, one of your games that is larger and bigger has been broken by them utilizing the lawn darts to do so. It's like some jerks came through here and were quite annoying about it. Some ruffians, some ne'er-do-wells. Mrs. P, or Mrs. G rather, arrives at your house pretty early, Montgomery, and Vincent says, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, I'm going out with Mrs. G this morning. I hope you have a great day, Montgomery. If there are any tasks that you gone on about and you Well, you needed any help. I'm so sorry. I forgot to tell you last night. And he'll take his leave with Mrs. G. Um, you set up the tent. You get everything prepared at the party. You are all present. Um, it does seem that some of you are a little bit more on edge with the process, having worked really hard. And people start to show up around noon. Roscoe arrived late last night, Reed. He didn't arrive when he said he was going to, but he did show up. You would note that he slept in throughout the morning, but as you're getting prepared with your friends outside the Nose and Tail, you do see that Roscoe does show up. He kind of sits off to the side from everybody, kind of keeps to himself, but he is there. And not many people are kind of talking to him. You know that he tells a lot of great stories, and based on what other people have said about him, he was quite the life of the party in his youth, but as he's grown on in years, apparently he's kind of not sure how the beat goes anymore. Doesn't really know where to kind of fit in. And based on your conversation with him the other day, you think he might secretly think everybody hates him. Yeah. Your God, it's great aunt or just aunt?
Oh, my mind.
Yeah,
Great aunt.
that's right. So your great aunt, she will arrive with your cousin. Um, they are not
Great.
in any way, shape, or form related to one another, as they're on two different sides of one family. Like that's the only thing that kind of connects them. But they have become fond friends over the last few years. Um, Graham is, I mean, I think this is the first time we're seeing Graham, but he is kind of done up in a bit of a, I guess leisure suits didn't really exist back then, but I can't really quantify it as anything but. And he looks like he is going straight for the alcohol reserves the second they are put onto the docket. Then, of course, Karen would immediately kind of either tether to you and pester you, regardless of what you're trying to do, or would go to talk to Montgomery and just be kind of like curious and nice, overly
A
so.
flirt.
A bit flirtatious for sure, but like overly nice with Montgomery and trying to like, oh, I can't believe you're doing this for Vincent. It's so kind of you to do it. You're such a treasure, such a great cousin, such a great relative, and kind of stares daggers like directly across the space over at Willie for no reason, but for a reason. Um, yeah, and I believe that there was one other. Oh yeah, Benjamin Togglesticks. He arrives. Uh, he's very lackadaisically dressed, wearing a robe and I think it's a fez, just the kind of hat. Just kind of going about and inspecting everything very thoroughly. Almost as if like this was some sort of contest and he was the judge of the competition. Um, does anybody want to engage with your relative?
Too busy.
Busy making sure the party's going. Okay.
I mean, no, I don't. I wouldn't voluntarily. This is a nightmare.
For sure, for certain. Um, Anybody at all?
Yeah, I'll go over and kind of like try to comfort Roscoe a little bit.
Okay. And he'll kind of like when you come over to talk to him and you're like getting ready to kind of be, empathetic and kind of like, appreciative, etc. He kind of like starts talking to you in a very casual way that is kind of reminiscent of like the better times you've spent with Roscoe. And it's very much a situation where you kind of lose track of what you came over to talk to him about, and you're very much swept into his storytelling and his allowance for your storytelling when it comes to something related to what he's talking about. And the two of you just basically trade bants for the next few minutes. Um, and I would say that, I mean, again, I don't think Reed's like a terribly smart guy. Um, Nothing against you, Brent. I just don't think he's going to read that as like what Roscoe's doing. It's kind of putting up a defense and like shelling off.
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely not reading that.
Yeah. He's like excited and talking to his papa. Like, awesome. Okay. Um, is there anything else you want to interject in that conversation?
No, that's about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, Last call before the guest of honor arrives. Okay. So as around noon 30 comes around, when the party was set to start, you'll see Mrs. Gray heading up to heading up the road, coming past the nose and tail and kind of moving out into the field of her property. She does not have Montgomery.
That's
I mean,
that's not good.
She kind of distressed moves over to, or does not have, not Montgomery, sorry, does not have Vincent. My brain did it up. She goes to Vincent and she looks very distressed.
I mean Montgomery.
She's going to Montgomery. She does not have Vincent. I don't know what I said in the last 10 minutes. Interpose each instance of Vincent and Montgomery. I I don't know why this is happening. I can only apologize. But yeah, she, as a pigeon, kind of comes to you and is very kind of like distraught, so she's kind of fluttering a bit, and says, "Well, what was I supposed to do? Tell him? He was very insistent about doing what he wanted. I'm so sorry, Montgomery. He
Where is
he he wouldn't go with me. He decided that, well, he told me that since our date was over, that he had something he had to do over at the South Wade. And I told him I wanted to take him, he'd have to walk me home. And he said, well, that wouldn't be possible. He doesn't have the time for it. And I was taken aback by his ungentlemanliness, but he seemed very focused on the South Wade. And I did everything I could, etiquette willing to try and convince him to come with me, and just nothing worked.
South Wade?
I don't know what to do.
South Wade. Where's the South Wade?
Southway,
Yeah.
just across the water.
Well, fuck. He just said fuck.
And the kid show became a grown-up show.
Well, we have to go get him. Don't you worry. You did your best.
I'll do what I can to host the party in your
Please.
while you're gone. As
Well, we're gonna need to get. They're thank you for trying, and he'll walk off.
Of course. And she's a bit saddened, you can tell, but obviously it's not her fault.
Right. So I guess I'll talk to Willie and say, hey.
Really, he has a spot now.
Yeah. Let's go get Vincent.
Okay.
He apparently didn't want to show up with Miss G.
Okay. What are you thinking? Zip ties and a mask, or are we trying to make this voluntary?
I need to go if that's the case.
Well,
let's
go get him. Let's go get him.
Let's just go get him.
And I would take off.
Space.
I'll have him just tell me where to go.
Space-wise, it would totally be okay for you all to go, but if you want to remain at the party, that's also fine.
We want to bring Reed to convince him that Roscoe's here. That might help.
Okay. Shelby, do you want to join just for fun?
Sure, I'd be delighted.
Wait.
The crew hops into the wagon, and you drive across to the ferry landing. The ferry takes you down to by the water, and you're able to kind of get off there, cross the bridge, and move over to the south wave. You arrive at a scene of him kind of seated on a rock, kind of just staring at the water, just looking very peaceful and tranquil. And once you get within, like, I don't know, 20 or so feet, he kind of looks over in your direction. Actually, a bit farther away than that. You're putting away, so yeah, he probably notices you relatively sooner than that. He'll get up from his spot, walk down the rock, kind of move over to you. Oh, how did you know where I was?
Oh, Miss P told us you were here.
Miss P. Hi.
Am I saying who was it again? Miss G.
Again, if you say Miss G, I'm going to give you the same response. It's he kind of goes into a Miss G. How did she know where I was? It's so confusing.
Vincent, she was just with you. You said you were far too busy to walk her home.
Oh, right. Yes, I did have some matters to attend to.
So what are you attending to?
Kind of looks over his shoulder back at the rock. Well, I've already handled my business here.
All right. Well, there's somewhere we need to be.
Okay. This is going to be an interesting scenario. I'm going to have you all at once roll a deed roll.
Who wants to go first so we're not rolling on top of each other? John is okay.
Yeah, sorry, I went. You want to roll the other part?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Full challenge.
Oh.
So that's a 9.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna roll 2 intrepidity. Okay.
I'm jealous.
7. It's a 7.
Mm-hmm. It'd have been like a 30 if Brent had it.
I'll go.
I got intrepidity.
All
Let's go. Okay, that's a 13.
right. You're all rolling ones.
We've all rolled ones. It's not great.
Shelby, break the curse, please.
Woo!
Let's go, Shelby! Carrying the team.
So that was also intrepidity for a 10.
Okay. So then I would say that Reed, you press through the group as they're kind of working. It seems like Shelby's conversation with Montgomery seems to be kind of like, helping him to move a little bit faster towards the vehicle. But Reed, you just bypass everybody and move towards the rock. You don't know why. You just feel like he looked back at that rock. It's got to be important, right? Like, why would he have looked at it like that in that moment? and you'd see that his journal is seated on the top of the rock. Almost looks like it was placed there, not like accidentally left.
I'll kind of like look around and then maybe pick it up.
Okay. Do you mention it, or do you just get back into the wagon as everybody goes?
I just put it in my pocket and get back in the wagon.
Okay. You head back to the party with him in tow. And when you arrive, there's this initial moment of all the people that he's known throughout the space kind of applauding as he's coming up in the... And he's kind of looking out there, very nervous, but also very, like, you know, the energy is in him, right? He's very ecstatic. It feels like he's very excited. But in your heads, there's kind of this, like, little bit of doubt for everybody that's not Shelby or... So Willie and Montgomery, you two, you feel like there's this just, I don't know, something about the way that they're looking at him or he's acting. It just feels like there's a stressor here, and you don't know what it is. You have no idea. You just feel tense. Bike stops. Everybody gets off. Montgomery like immediately kind of looks back at Montgomery. Vincent looks back at Montgomery and heads into the party, confused, but slowly kind of picking up on what's going on. And everybody starts talking to him, treating him as the guest of honor that he is. He walks past the cake. He looks very happy, just very excitedly kind of moving through the space. While that's happening, John, where are you at? Sticking with him, or?
Yeah, since it seemed like you forgot about this, and just want to make sure he's, seemed a little out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the vibe was off.
Okay. And then, Shelby, are you sticking with him, or are you kind of maneuvering to a different spot in the party?
I imagine I would probably break off to check in with some of the guests and see where the food is at.
Okay.
If anything needs like fluffing and refreshing.
Yeah, very good. I would say in that process, you would notice that the food's great. Everything seems to be in order there. You seem to kind of look around just to see if everybody is kind of like in their places where you left them, and you don't know where Roscoe went to. Again, not something that's immediately relevant, but potentially later. And then, what about you, Reed? What are you doing in the kind of initial re-arrival? Brent?
Sorry, I had people in my room. If nobody's looking at me, I'm gonna be opening the journal.
Okay. Yeah, it's his journal. It's his it's what he's been keeping track of his memoirs on. Very thorough. Very.
Anything special at the end? I imagine
Well,
that's probably what the party was writing in was.
No, there's a lot of blank pages at the end. And also there's a lot of blank pages in the middle as well. The structure of it doesn't look like it was done by somebody who was kind of like formulating a narrative and kind of writing from point A to point B. It's more of a situation where it's just a scattering of notations. And it looks like there's no rhyme or reason to how the stories were added to the journal. So it could be a situation where you're reading about something that happened, 20 years ago, and then like the next few pages after that story is kind of outlined, seems to go into like small little hand-drawn sketches, like questions that are being written to himself, and just like a mess of notation, and then it can move from that to a point that happened before then, like some 30 years ago. It just seems like the scribblings of someone just kind of it's the literature equivalent to a person who has a bunch of puzzle pieces on the table and is trying to put them into a picture. The best way I can describe it.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Reed kind of like reads through it for a minute, getting the multi pieces and everything, and then kind of just puts it back in his pocket, and then he'll go over to Montgomery and be like, "Do we have any wrapping paper?"
John.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure maybe
I got the
The,
perfect gift for him.
maybe Miss P or Miss G might
G.
have that over at the house.
Okay.
Maybe
I'll
there's
walk
some lying
over.
around somewhere. You just have to look.
Looking around, do I see any extra wrapping paper?
No, the only wrapping
Or
paper
what
you see would be on
extra wrapping paper?
the gifts that were brought by guests other than you and your group, who did not
Yeah.
actually formulate any notations that I can
Yep.
recall on gifts
We did not.
for the birthday party that you were throwing.
Well, we're throwing the birthday party.
The gift is that we're here today.
Yeah,
My
Okay,
gift
but,
was the cake.
Your gift was the
that
cake.
being,
that's true.
that being the case, I'm just gonna kind of like go over to the presents, and when nobody's looking, just kind of lay it in the middle of them.
Okay. It is surrounded by other gifts. Okay. And then Willie, are you kind of sticking close to um, Vincent, or are you kind of moving and doing something with the party writ large, or?
I'm sticking close to Vincent. I'm not really. I'm not. Do you mean Montgomery and not Vincent? Do you mean John?
I mean Vincent, the guest of the party.
Oh,
like
okay. You know what? I'm walking off by myself. I am just seeing what the party has, trying to get some snacks.
Got it. Yeah, well, they have this lovely cut of blood sausage. I don't know who put this out here, but oh my,
I'd take two. I'd take two pieces. I'd be like, I'm so happy this was provided.
what a treasure! It doesn't look like anybody's touched it. There's this look from across the table when you do so from Graham, and he kind of looks down at it, looks at you, and then kind of walks over, and then fills his plate with blood sausage, taking double what you took, and seemingly like kind of moving away, like almost as if he is intentionally just taking what you want to spite you.
And he can have it. That's why I have the extra at my house. I wasn't counting on leftovers.
Perfect.
I prepare for bad relatives.
Like everyone should. Okay. So, Montgomery goes through the process of talking to people. Some of these people you're aware of, some people are not. Montgomery, as you're kind of looking around and through the group, there's a moment where Vincent kind of looks to you and says, "Where's Roscoe?"
He should be here somewhere.
My memory's not that bad. I could have sworn I remember you saying that he'd be here.
I was under the impression he would.
The
Where's Reed in relation to?
Reed is it appears to be stealing gifts. The literal second that the second that you asked that question would be the literal second that he's like sneaking into the gifts to put the journal there.
He's rolled. But now you got me doing it. Montgomery rolls up his sleeves and he starts walking over there.
The only one I will never mix up for the other one will be Shelby and the frog.
Fiddlestick or whatever.
Benjamin. So you go over to Roscoe or Reed. God damn it.
Hey, what are you doing?
Putting my gift in the middle since I don't have any wrapping paper.
Oh.
Smart.
Where's Roscoe?
When he says that and you're asking that question, you're kind of looking at what he gestured to as his gift, and you would see Vincent's journal, which he's never not had on him.
Where did you get that?
He left it on the rock whenever we picked him up. I thought he forgot it, so, the best surprise is the gift that he already wanted.
Then I'll go, okay, thank you for picking that up.
I got you, man. You looking for Roscoe?
Yeah, where is he? He's asking. He
Do I
didn't show
remember
up
where
when
he
he
was
was
at?
Travis.
Where do you think he would be if he could be anywhere in this current area? Not the whole of the map. Just think of the party scene. It's a backyard of the Nose and Tail, which is right on the Riverwalk. Where would he be?
Probably by the water.
Yeah, you look over there and it's like bright, flowing white shirt, like he's got like the pirate shirt, like that whole vibe. I think is what he would bring to the function. And he's just kind of standing in the wind. His flowing fluffy shirt just billowing in the wind.
He's over there. Do you want me to go get him?
If you wouldn't mind.
Okay. I'll finish covering my gift up, and then I'll start walking over to Roscoe.
You get to him, and he says, just as you're about to, announce yourself, "Yeah, I know. It's fine. I'm coming." And he'll kind of turn, just kind of ragged and old, and seemingly very depressed in the face, make his way back to the party. You lead him up to Vincent. Vincent's face lights up, very excited to see him. And you would see this very strange look of recognition on Roscoe's face. And he says to Montgomery, or Vincent, he says to Vincent, "Hey, long time no see." And Vincent will say, "That's true. I'm so glad you could make it. It'll probably be the last time I'm down this way." Roscoe will nod his head. "Yeah, well, not really around here anymore. More by the lake. I'm glad you could come out." And Vincent will kind of... Montgomery just seems like a forgetful guy name, And Vincent seems more like kind of like a superintendent slash laborer. Anyway, he'll say, "How's the party going so far?" And they'll start talking about the goings-on of the process. Montgomery, you're able to overhear that Vincent's pleasantly surprised by the party and is glad that everybody could come out. And they just start yakking amongst themselves, kind of moving away. While that's happening, though, the circumstance at hand seems to be a very kind of pressing matter that turns up while that's happening. And it's that the tent, the pavilion, has kind of come off its rigging a bit, and the wind is starting to kind of catch it. If left unanswered or unchecked, it's probably a situation where the pavilion will kind of abscond into the sky or flutter off down the way past the Nose and Tail and into the Sunflower Cottage fields.
Who's around me?
I'll help out as best I can.
Well, I just need
Anybody?
one person to kind of be the who jumps onto the matter. It sounds like Montgomery is the first
Well,
responder. Yeah. And since you were talking to Reed can help. She'll just add a bonus to your roll equal to, I'm going to say, half their whatever stat you roll. So go ahead and roll Deed.
So that's a
D4 and then D6.
I'm seeing what my thing is.
I
2
get you.
your intrepidity.
That is my intrepidity. Yeah.
So you get a +6 to this. That's half my intrepidity.
Jesus, Brent.
Yeah, so as you kind of rush over there, wait, you didn't have your own bonus?
He didn't add it.
What's your
to
intrepid?
that.
It's a 6.
Oh, so you get +6 in addition to that because
So 15.
yeah. So you two rush over there very quickly, kind of like tell people to kind of move their plates and kind of, it's gone from this edge or that. And then like, there's a moment where, just to get it up, get up there and secure it, Montgomery kind of like hoists Reed up, like a little otter baby to kind of like fix the materials up there. And then like you very quickly kind of make sure that everything's kind of battened down. Shelby, while that's happening, you've been kind of navigating the area and kind of circled back to the center of attention, which would be Vincent. And from what you can tell from a distance, it seems that Vincent and Roscoe are arguing. And it sounds like it's a bit heated as you're approaching it. Seems like they've been left to kind of their own devices, and what may have started off pleasantly has slowly turned into a squabble.
Yeah, Shelby will.
Roll initiative.
Panic. I know.
Cue fighting music. I
I don't know why.
No,
I
really,
just
what
pictured-
you need to cue is the fucking Phoenix Wright, like Ace Attorney music, and
Oh.
then the dialogue tree comes up, and I
Yes.
need to pick the right options.
That's awesome. What were you gonna say, Chandler?
Oh no. I'm glad it went that direction. We're gonna keep it that way.
Now I have to know.
I was gonna say I could picture Shelby as one of those like older gentlemen where their cane is also a pistol. And he
Surprise!
just holds a gun.
Shelby's a Kingsman.
Hell
It's like
yeah.
it only has one shot, but it is effective.
That's too funny. But yeah, so you would overhear them kind of arguing. Do you want to lean in and gather what they're arguing
Yeah,
about?
100%.
It seems that the dispute is over what we had expected, but it sounds like it's coming from a different angle than was anticipated. They are currently squabbling over the boat's circumstance, but it seems like Roscoe is trying to apologize, especially now that he knows that his forgetfulness seems to have been something more serious than he expected back then, and that he should have never asked for his permission to be able to have the publisher put out a different copy of the paper. And Vincent doesn't care and is like getting very upset that like Roscoe's trying to apologize at all. But Roscoe's adamant about apologizing, and is actually, from what you can tell, I mean, kind of hard to tell with otters, but looks to appear to be on the verge of tears.
Can I try and pull Roscoe aside, actually? Because Vincent doesn't seem that fazed by what's happening, right?
Yeah, no, not so
If
much.
anything, he's more
Yeah,
getting, like, angry.
He's getting angry that it's
The
yeah,
conversation is happening.
yeah. That does feel that's the vibe. I would say that if you're pulling Roscoe aside, go ahead and tell me kind of like just without narratively do it. We'll get into the conversation bit, but I kind of want to understand the drive point before I understand what whether or not it's a deed or not. Are we pulling Roscoe away to like engage them into shutting up and just be like forget it, or are you going to try and help them fix the situation?
I'm going to ask them what the goal of apologizing is and try and direct them to understanding that, like, just because he's apologizing doesn't mean he deserves like any kind of recognition back from Vincent, and Vincent is unwell, and to expect that of Vincent is an unhealthy and like untenable expectation. So like he can apologize, but to expect him to accept his apology and comprehend why he's apologizing isn't realistic. And so we need to find a different goal with him apologizing. And if that's for him to personally seek closure, then like let's discuss how he can get that.
I would,
But like,
I would say in your current state too, like it is very much like, obviously there was a certain level of like you're wanting to basically scold him in a sense. You're effectively doing just that. So I want to be sure then that you understand that where you're at. I'm going to have you roll. The target number is going to be 10, so you're going to know right away what that is. You're going to roll a deed though, and if you fail, I mean it is going to be a situation where you just cannot
oh, I know.
tolerate. Okay.
Ha! Guess who's turning into a fucking animal with a roll of a 5?
So, as a lizard, little newt guy, little guy, you very much feel like Roscoe's retorts are making you feel kind of like personally attacked. Like, you definitely understand why Vincent went to the degree that he went to. In your mind, when you're kind of being pressured, when you're being targeted here, obviously you as a player have an understanding of what like a typical response from Shelby would be, but what would Shelby's like, I mean, yeah, more animalistic kind of response to this kind of uh,
Run,
situation?
burrow, hide.
Yeah, find rocket under rock. Uh, yeah, that's where we find
Ideally,
him.
wet rock
Yep, wet
or
rock.
into
River.
river, but like yeah,
River has wet rock.
yeah, immediately dives into river to get underneath a river rock.
Yeah. So, from the situation here, I believe I had Reed and Montgomery. You're fixing the tent just as you're battening down and you're about to start high-fiving, handshaking, job well done, etc. You do kind of get an overhear of an event, something's happening in the midst of the space, and it does seem to be catching attention. But Willie, I'd assume that you'd be relatively closer, as you were last I checked, kind of just checking on stuff and checking out people.
Yeah, I was just perusing around, so yeah, I can be close.
So you definitely see it as it's happening. You won't be able to stop that situation, but you want to try and interject with Roscoe at all?
Not really. There's a bit of a disconnect from that, so it's just gonna hold there.
Understandable.
I
Okay.
might look around for Montgomery to alert him.
Yeah, and that's about when you see Shelby. Go ahead and describe you rushing off into the water, or rushing up over into the rocks near the water.
The cane and his typical like handbag have been dropped. Shelby is probably on all fours for the first time you've ever seen him, and it's a scurry shuffle, like full panic, full speed, all fours, just pulling towards the river.
It's a very sudden. Go ahead.
I'm assuming we would know what that means. Like,
Yeah.
if we saw someone do that, that would be like us seeing a mental break.
Yeah, so it's probably not the first time Shelby's had it happen, right? But not in front of you. And it's probably not something that you would be so unfamiliar with that you haven't either seen members of your family or friends do it before, or having done it yourself. I mean, Willie seems like a very tepid but skittish kind of being, right? Like, I'm certain that your animalistic mentality has led you to end up in, a random cave or barn, attic.
Okay, so it's a pretty well known phenomenon.
Yeah.
So okay. Yeah, I would I would be, I'd be rushing to try to get to Montgomery just to be like, I'm gonna go see if I can get him. He was talking to Roscoe, and then just kind of lost it for a moment, and then I would run to try to find him.
Okay, so you're kind of Naruto running across the field after, and kind of like, hopping and gliding after.
I'm definitely way slower than him.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the predicament here.
The main thing is the next beat for Shelby will still happen. But for Montgomery and Reed, you two finish the tent. No time for high fives or handshakes. You see that the conversation between Roscoe and Vincent is reigniting, and you'd see Shelby bolt away from the party, and you'd also see Willie chase after.
Well, I guess whatever they're doing is what caused it. So let's go figure out what they're doing.
I want to take a second and just notate how I relate to Shelby. It's like you're trying to tell something to somebody, and like as Zach like very eruditely kind of put it, like the exact right response to the situation, but just due to the trauma of existence, it's like fuck it, I'm gonna go hide somewhere else. And you find solace in the cool wet rock. You manage to get underneath there. Your hat's left outside, but you're kind of like able to kind of get down there, pressing your suit and everything down into the muck. And it's cool. It's damp. It's very much just like the place to be.
Mm-hmm. Good place.
Reed, you said you were going after them or going after Roscoe and Vincent?
I mean, that's a good question because Shelby went like into the water where the rocks are, right?
Like right on the shore, like right on the shore. Like you've ever been to like a creek and it's like, got a bunch of rocks and like, there's occasionally like there's a bigger rock, and like if you were lucky and you pop that bad boy open, you'd see a salamander or a newt or whatever, and then they'd freak out and just scutter the fuck off.
Under a log.
That's him right now. Yeah, sometimes under a log, but he definitely went for a rock this time.
Yeah, I'm sure that Willie can take care of that. I'm gonna go try to stop the two older gentlemen from arguing, so that maybe someone else doesn't, freak out because of what they're saying.
Okay, you're able to pull Roscoe away because that was kind of already the default. Like it was only a moment back into the re-engagement. You're able to kind of secure Roscoe away from Vincent. Montgomery, what are you doing?
I'd be pretty curious about what's going on with my cousin and Roscoe.
Okay. You two walk over to your relatives and engage. The situation is outlined to you, so it's relayed to you as you understand it, just as I expressed it to Zach. The matter at hand for you two is twofold. So you're going to be kind of pressing the individual that you're talking to. Are you switching dance partners, or are you focusing on your main relative as your kind of point of interest?
So I missed part of it because I was AFK.
Okay, so I'll go through it again. Roscoe is trying to apologize, but he's trying to force his apology on Vincent. It sounds like he's saying the right things as far as an apology goes, but Vincent doesn't care, keeps on brushing it off like it's nothing, but it's very important to Roscoe. And Roscoe getting more upset is upsetting Vincent. So they're both becoming kind of more agitated. and Shelby came over, pulled Roscoe away, started having a bit of an argument with him, and that's when he threw his bag and his cane down and rushed off for the river. You all caught up?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'll probably talk to Roscoe. I just feel like it'd be easier for me to be able to convince him, like, you've said your piece. If he doesn't want to accept it, he doesn't want to accept it. You know, at least you put the truth out there, you know, that way, you know, you let him know. Whether he chooses to accept it or not, it's up to him, if he even remembers it. But you said
Okay.
your piece, you could settle yourself.
Since you are not adding anything to his position, he is basically locked in on telling him and saying his piece. And he doesn't feel he's done that yet, even though it seems he has. Cutting from that to the opposite side, Montgomery, you're talking to Vincent. Is there anything you'd like to try, or any angle of discussion you want to kind of engage Vincent in regarding this Roscoe fiasco?
I guess I'd say it's about time that he's finally fessing up to his bullshit, and you should.
I don't know what you're talking about, and I don't care.
Why don't you care?
Doesn't matter. It's all in the past.
Okay. Uh, will you at least humor him?
I think it's a bit rude to do it at my surprise party, but I suppose I
Yes,
can.
it is. But like, would I have overheard him talking to Roscoe, or was I?
Very little.
Okay, so no. Like, I guess I would have talked to him about this is probably the last time he's going to come down here for a long while. And I would say that you might not see him again. So it's best to. I understand it's your party, but at the same time, would you rather be fighting with him, or would you rather have a good time with him?
I'd rather have a good time, but he's the one who keeps being so bullish about
Yes.
it.
So sometimes you have to just let them do it. Understand that you know what's going on, and work past it from there.
All right,
Does that
Montgomery.
make sense?
Yeah, I suppose it does. I'll play along. It's
It's
fine.
it's being the bigger man.
Yeah, and he changes tack, so instead of being dismissive, he's a bit more kind of like false reassuring. And it feels like, to read into Montgomery, as they're patching this together and kind of like coming back to, a semblance of normalcy, it doesn't feel like anything was actually resolved. It feels like it was just kind of, you know, we're doing this to appease the, party hosts kind of situation. But it's better than nothing. We'll cut to the rock. You finally arrive there, Willie, and you can see the little, bowler cap sitting right outside the rock. You can see the kind of tracks of Newt kind of slithering underneath.
But I'd grab the discarded article and lean down and say, Shelby, is everything okay?
I think your
He
response
licks his eyeball with his own tongue.
is some might say a bit gauche.
If you're feeling a bit off at the moment, I can take you back to your house. I think you would prefer that to where you are.
Just kind of panicked, looks around, but can't respond.
I would take a step towards him, hoping not to scare
Or
him
he's
off.
2 steps backwards.
Yeah,
But
slid
doesn't
underneath
run
the
all
rock.
the way away. Yeah.
Just like a little bit of the head popping out now.
Okay, I will gather your things and I will put them outside of this rock for you when you come a bit more to your senses. And I would stand up, I would put down that article, and I would go back to grab the handbag and cane to also put it out here.
Yeah. So you'd actually see that when you kind of get back, the handbag and the cane are not where they were left. It does look like someone has taken them. And when you kind of start looking around, you'd see that Benjamin has them. Benjamin Toggle 6.
Oh, you're gonna make me talk to the frog, okay?
It's like this is like the Riverbend equivalent of a wyvern
I
dropping
go up
out
to
of
the
the
frog.
sky.
Yeah, I walk up to the frog.
Oh, hello.
Hello, I assume you're a relative of Shelby's.
Sure. He dropped these. I assume he's so depressed because of the frightfully boorish nature of this party, and he probably worked so hard on those absolutely terrifying looking arrangements. I can see his hand in them.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Punch
I
it!
don't understand. Budget.
Punch him, just punch him. Punch.
Well, not everything can always be done perfectly. But the fact they were done at all is better than I could have done, and I assume you as well. Can I have his articles so I can go put them with him?
Oh, I suppose. I don't mind you taking them off my hands. Absolutely fine. And he'll hand them over to you.
I'd grab them and nod at him to signal I was leaving unless he continued.
He doesn't. He kind of like stares down his, I guess the frog equivalent of a nose, at you.
Yeah, and I walk that stuff back. I put it with the other item, and then I look around to reconnect with Montgomery this time because bad things keep happening.
Okay. So kind of parting ways from the debacle that seems to have been at least band-aided over for the time being. Montgomery, you are addressed by Willie.
Hey, Willie.
Hey.
They're doing a little. How's
Yeah,
Shelby doing?
That's not great at the moment, but
Uh,
these things takes a little bit of time. So
as you're yakking and about to get into it, Mrs. P walks over and just like places her feathers or like her wing on Montgomery and says, "When are we going to do the presents? We should call for presents. I mean, everybody would want to watch and see."
Not a bad idea. That might
raise some spirits.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
All right then, do it.
So,
yeah.
Well, yeah, I was gonna look around and see where's Vincent.
Vincent is kind of taken to Mrs. Gray and is also kind of speaking with Karen, Mildred Cunningham. Graham, the cousin of Willie, is kind of near to there, but seems to just be kind of like drinking.
Lovely. Well, he'll do a clap and he'll be like, "All right, everybody, we're gonna start heading over here to start do some presents."
Get a round of applause.
Gather around.
And then everybody starts kind of coming about.
Grab a drink on
Of
your way.
course.
Then he says, "Not you, Gary."
Graham. Not you,
Graham,
Gary.
whatever.
Not you, Gary. Fuck you, Gary.
Shames him in the whole play.
That's a very interesting play. Not you, Graham. It definitely gets a look of like a couple people who have noticed are kind of like, now kind of doing like the kind of laugh. So
Yeah.
absolutely. You get the group together and they start going through the process of gifts. Most of it is very kind of thoughtful stuff. Nothing like too crazy or like, strange. The things that you notice though, that are interesting and kind of noteworthy kind of come from the main guest that you had known and kind of brought into the situation. So, Karen apparently brought a tool. It looks like a gardening tool. And when he gets a hold of it, it's basically just like a small little like wooden stake with a sharp point and kind of like rounded grooves in it. Montgomery, being a gardener, you would know this is a dibber. It's mainly used for like putting holes in the ground and kind of like seeding, right? So that's a gift that he gets from Karen, and it seems to cause him like a very strange like emotion of happiness at first, like oh, and then recognition, oh, it's a dibber, and then kind of like being, I don't know, just forlorn almost. Like it's a very strange roller coaster of emotions that happens in that moment. The gift that he gets from Benjamin is a very beautiful journal, blank, empty pages, well pressed, kind of like parchment inside. I would say moleskin cover, but Jesus Christ. Um, not not my neighbor, please. So a really nice kind of leather exterior. Looks very nice, and when Benjamin gets a second to kind of like comment on the article, he says, "For all your future adventures and journeys," and this causes Vincent to be very like happy, smiling, very kind of like lifts his spirits. Um, then the last gift of note, before the one that's obviously the most interesting, is Roscoe gave him the trophy. He wrapped it up and put it in a wooden box, so it takes like a very solid 10 minutes to get that bad boy open. And then you're pulling out all of the like the packing material inside, which is mostly just hay. But eventually it gets to this trophy, which isn't terribly massive, but it causes him to kind of it causes Vincent to kind of like, oh, okay, fine, and just set it on the table and kind of just be very dismissive of it. And having just engaged with this process, Reed and Montgomery, you're kind of on the understanding that like we're back to square one. Like all of that just it kind of got back to square one. As like they're getting prepared to finish off the gifts, you're kind of still hanging out in your space. Like you've been, this is for Zach. Sorry, you've been hiding out in your space, and I'm just double checking. I think there's a time matter and then a check. Let me double check. Animality. Sorry, it's my first time dealing with it, and the one time that it was handled, it was done very well by a person who's better at running this game than me at Gen Con. So I am. Oh, interesting. Huh. That's really interesting. I don't know how I do that. I wish I had studied more on this.
I'm both scared and intrigued.
Well, it states animal encounters dealing with larger, much larger, or huge ordinary animals. Any diminutive or small characters takes a point of animality, but that's just really. There's ways for you to kind of uptick without it being role related. That's interesting. My baby cat is currently having a dream. So I'm trying to see what. Oh, yes, I know, baby cat. I love you, Mr. Man. Sorry, I'm the worst at this. Thank you for being patient. So when a hazard completes, it resets. Okay, got it. So I guess with the conflict as it stands, I think I want to do something random because that just seems to be a bit. Oh, yeah. That's the rule I forgot about. And that was. Oh man, I'm so bad at this. Haphazardry cards. Every 30 minutes of the game, just something random happens. That's what we've been missing. And I don't have the deck for it. Well, I do have the deck for it. It's the same. It's a Hoyle deck, but we had a. She just gave them out to us at the thing. Sorry. Thanks for being patient with me once again. I'm going to go ahead and say that the win counted as our haphazardry, but so too did the kind of argument at hand. So what I'm going to state is I'm going to leave it to you, Zach, and your discretion. You've been in the spot hiding for probably the better part of an hour. So whether or not you'd be coming out or just kind of remaining, or maybe even like retreating further and going back to your house after regaining your position, you'll snap back to a -4 in the animality space. Sound good?
Shelby would probably like snap back to 4 and go back to his house.
Okay. Gathering
I
up your
can't
stuff.
imagine just like the embarrassment of drawing so much attention to himself at someone else's party.
Covered
He
in
want to
mud.
return.
Covered in mud as you are as well.
Yeah,
You kind of
exactly. It's just not a good look.
ferret your way around the nose and tail, finding your bike. I will say that as far as the rest of the group seeing that, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna let that happen ultimately.
I guess the
But
present part, you know,
yeah,
the fact that we're doing present circumvent the.
yeah, you kind of like stayed focused. The last article that is given out is the last thing that kind of pops up is the journal because it wasn't written. And it's a situation where you have to basically go, well, what about your last gift? And he goes, huh? And then you point to the journal on the table. And he'll kind of look to it, and there's a look of like, he knows what it is. And he goes, huh? And he'll pick it up, and he goes, well, I guess I can't avoid it. I thank you, Reed, for this gift.
You're welcome. I didn't want you to lose it.
I can't say whether or not I appreciate it or not. And there's just like a look of sadness at the end of the party. Everybody starts to kind of like, wind down as it gets later. You would notice that Shelby has kind of made his way home. You're pretty sure he's gone home after the event. Lily definitely got a sight of him, and you would know that the suit that he was definitely wearing is absolutely covered in muck. Reed, Roscoe insists on going home, but stopping in one last time at the Nose and Tail before going. Um, and he insists that you stick with him because he doesn't know the way back to your spot. So
Okay.
he'll need help.
Yeah.
Willie, Karen has basically noted to you that Graham is absolutely out of it, drunk, and will need to be taken home. And she says she can't carry him and asks if your contraption could do it.
Yeah, I can get him home.
Okay. So you'll take Karen and Graham to their abodes.
Yeah.
And Montgomery, you're kind of last person at the party. You get some assistance from the staff at the Nose and Tail to kind of tear things down, kind of put them into, like your original plan, put them under a tarp and just leave them there for tomorrow, since it's later in the evening. It'd be kind of silly to start moving stuff in around. But the last two people who are kind of out there in two of the folding chairs, or the equivalent for the time frame, um, logs, I think is what we said last time. But you're seated out there, and beautiful spring evening, stars up in the air, just quiet outside the Nose and Tail.
Is Vincent still there?
Yeah, it's just you and Vincent.
Oh, okay. And he's sitting down, and I'll bunk posted next to him.
Thank you so much, Montgomery. I really appreciate it. And thank you for letting me stay with you for so long. I can't stress how fun it's
Yeah, of
been
course.
to be back in RiverBank.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. I'm sorry I was grumpy. I get about yours come spring.
I understand. And I'm sorry about asking you all those questions. I really stopped to think about it, and you're right. It's not that important because I already did it.
Well, once, but
Yeah,
uh, is that why you left it over at the Rock? Because you didn't want to?
he pulls it out and kind of looks at it. I think Reed's right. It's important to keep with me so I don't actually forget.
Yeah, of course.
And it's important to make it, I don't know, something more. I don't have much of a penchant for writing, but your friend Shelby, he's very skilled. I'm sorry about the argument with Roscoe sending him away. He seemed very upset by the whole
No,
matter.
other matters are also to play with that. Don't you worry about it. Maybe. But when are you due out?
I'll be leaving at the end of the month, so it'll probably be like 10 days.
We have plenty of time then. So what do you say if we want? Because you got a brand new fancy journal. Did you want to move that over to there, and maybe we can work through it? Me, you, and Shelby.
Yes,
Get a chance to go over.
I think that's a great idea. And he seems very happy, but there's like a level of melancholy that's kind of present there as well. And as you're thinking about it, Montgomery, you're not a dumb guy. I think you're a relatively intelligent little badger. You'd kind of note that you think that the reason why he kind of arrived at this state, it may be the case that the uncovering of the facts, um, different than his memory, kind of reminded him of how he felt maybe at the time when this whole situation arose. And you remember it in his voice when he first talked about it. There was a level of anger and he was very upset. But it seems he didn't like that. He didn't like being mad at someone he sees as a friend from the times in the past. And as you're reflecting on it yourself, there's... Go ahead.
Yeah, and then like it's been so long, like why does it matter?
Yeah. It's hard. It's if you let hate sit in your heart, it's hard to remember the times before that, right? It very much becomes a block or a stop for you to kind of remember the good times. And as you're kind of squaring everything away, he seems very just content and coming to terms with the fact that you and him and Shelby will be working together through his past, his missives, his horrible notes. Shelby, it takes you a while to kind of recover, but by Saturday, like midday, I assume you're kind of mellowed out. Is that fair to say?
Shelby is mellowed out, but I don't know if the social anxiety is worn off. You know what I mean?
So how would he feel about two badgers coming up to his door and knocking on it?
Very, very terrified, but he will, of course, socially be obligated to answer it.
Montgomery, open the door's open for you, Montgomery. Oh, what is happening? I'm having the weirdest green screen time. But yeah, the door's
While
open
you're
for
doing
you.
that,
Go ahead.
Shelby, how are we doing?
I'm surprised to see you both. I apologize for the way that I acted at your party. And he's like looking down at the ground, like avoiding eye contact.
Montgomery.
Honestly, I hope
Go ahead.
we all, you know, it's no big deal at all.
Vincent
Don't
will
you worry about it.
kind of move past Montgomery and kind of like look down to you and say, I heard that you made the arrangements, the individual ones. Those were very gorgeous. Thank you so much for the hard work.
Then I will accept the hard work comment. Not that they were necessarily gorgeous. I did try, though.
Oh, they were
You're
delicious.
very polite.
They were so delicious.
That's the most important part.
Mm. And it wasn't half as bad as...
Did you know Montgomery grew them?
Is that right?
Yep, that's all from the homestead.
And he'll say, as bad as you think they look, I think they look great. They didn't look quite as bad as that fish casserole. And that thing was heavenly. Tasted exquisite.
Be surprised to know that the Young Waters boy made that.
He does have a very strange obsession with fish.
We did have to force him to put vegetables in it. It was just going to be mashed up fish.
Nah, he came about that on his own.
What? Oh, did he? Oh, my
Yeah,
bad.
he was inspired by the ghost of...
Oh, my bad, okay.
Oh god, I can't remember the joke I was about to say, but Paula Deen. He was possessed by the ghost of Paula Deen.
So it was butter. Okay.
Yeah, I just shoved butter in it. Damn, that's good. That's good fish.
He dropped an N-bomb and...
Do not roleplay that. That is not okay.
Do not. I have to advise you to not roleplay that.
He's
What do you mean? Why?
friends from Kentucky.
Why?
JK, I know you're better than that.
Family friendly.
Fuck that. No bigotry. But yeah. So the matter at hand is you kind of come to the understanding that Vincent would like your assistance in drafting And basically, from your understanding, using parchment that you have available, they're going to, the two of you, or the three of you, are going to work together to draft his notes in his current journal, formulate a means of kind of putting it to page. And so ultimately, you'll be leaving him at the end of the next 10 days, probably not spending your entire day doing this, but like spending some time with him during this process to help him formulate his thoughts and compile them. And then he will basically be writing from those notes moving forward. And there's not much opportunity to kind of flesh them out much further. Like, there are definitely things that you, Montgomery, are going to be more forthcoming with. And also, I mean, just based on the conversation and the way that the Roscoe situation ended up, if you're going to ask any questions of Roscoe regarding any of the times that they spent together, they'd probably be through Reed. So not much changes on that front, ultimately. It's the end of the 10 days, like, he's very happy and contented with his notes, and you see him off Montgomery, possibly others, to the train station. And at that point, he'll make his way back to Scotland, where he will go back to his massive castle to attend over the Abernathy estates. I'll be completely 100% honest with you. We did very good. Obviously, it was one session's worth of content spread over two sessions, but I just realized it's 9:20, so I don't want to get into like another kind of narrative bit. It's kind of a weird timing matter. So instead of kind of getting into any of the mechanical stuff that would be kind of a part and parcel for the beginning, I'll save that for our next one. I think I'm going to end this one early, unless anybody has anything they want to add. Okay. Then thanks for watching, those that did, and we will see you next Tuesday. See ya. Yeah, I know what I did.